Ah.
Damn.
We have captions.
Ooh, hey!
Yeah. Woo!
You clicked all the things.
I did. There he is in the corner.
They match.
Right where he belongs.
Mm-hmm. Hello, friends. We are back once again for another evening of the city of Oshaump. It's going to be a great time. We're definitely going to live. And it's, we have our wonderful, definitely dwarven ghost friend hanging around.
Oh, he's a dwarf.
He sure is.
He's a dwarf.
He is.
He looks like a dwarf.
I believe that
Looks
he
like a
is.
dwarf, sounds like a dwarf,
He gave you
Quacks like a dwarf.
a dwarven name.
named like a demon.
The most dwarven name that's ever been given.
I mean, we're partying with this dude named Nesgrim. I mean, that's a pretty weird name, too.
That's fair.
Nesgrim, Dolgrim.
Nesgrim the Accursed.
It's fine, DJ.
Oh, I picked up on that. Good. That it's the first 3 letters of my name, and then the last 4 of Nesgrim.
What?
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 The first 3 letters of your name are any.
So
Dorgrim?
Dorgrim. Dorgrim. My actual first name.
Oh, no. It's D-O-O. It's literally.
Oh, it's literally.
Door. Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah. No, his name means a thing.
Who did they want us to be first?
I hope so.
Yeah, they did. Anyway, we're going to go around the table real quick, introduce ourselves, and then we will pop to the action after a brief recap. But anyway, I'm always Don, but tonight I'm playing Ether Revia, the Grave Domain Cleric.
I'm still not Lawrence. And I'm also still playing Yalumlo.
I'm Paul, and I play Felix. My bones are cold.
I'm Glenn, I play Vorst.
I'm Sarah, and I play Ritora.
We almost lost it.
Who am I?
And I'm DJ, and I play Nesgrim, and I play DJ.
Thank you.
And I'm John, the Dungeon Master for the City of Oshaump. Last week, a wonderful time was had as we found our way through an additional room into a suspicious-looking temple of sorts, almost like a chapel. We found some spooky pews with some spooky runes beneath them and a big spooky book that Paul started to read, which didn't assault his brain this time, which is great.
It's about 50-50.
Yeah, right? Like, either or. Thanks, Martin Heidegger. What a guy. Now I'm just thinking about either or. Yeah, so Paul read that book in which we understood some of the principles of alchemy and the fundamentals of magic. We learned that it was written by a dwarven man named Dorgrim. We found a suspicious statue of a large female human figure with a plaque of broken stone at her feet with the letters MYS at the bottom, but the remainder of the plaque was broken. Felix eventually associates this with the mother of the mysteries of magic, an individual who is kind of like just the embodiment of all the strange and curious things and like a source of knowledge, like a font of knowledge. We decided to eventually leave the chapel after believing that the runes on the floor were some kind of strange and suspicious set of markings. Vorst had a wonderful conversation with Balor about the tremendous illusionists that existed here in Felfarthen. Wonderful magicians. And asked which of his friends is in fact the most fun among them and the most fitting for a trick to be played upon them in the future. Vorst said that he's definitely not fun, so we'll see who's fun in the party.
Not fun.
Not fun. It'll be fine.
I'm fun.
I know. I know. Yeah, and then as Vorst returned after coming over to communicate discreetly with Nesgrim, communicated the issues from Balor and his deception about drinking during the time of whatever occurred here in Felfarthen, we already knew that Torben and Balor were not drinking because Balor had said previously he does not drink. He needed his wits about him for what he was doing here in the city. When Vorst returned, the ghastly spirit of Torben was gone, and Balor said that he had no idea who Vorst was talking about, and there was never another friend here, and that illusionists are fantastic at making you look one way and doing something in another. And we decided to go into the next room. Balor still guiding us ahead. And Felix broke off very briefly, recognizing that there was a small pedestal with a large ledger, thousands of pages tall, as a directory of sorts, like a manifest for shipments and deliveries that are designed to be either ascending or descending inside of the city of Felfarthen, indicating this is kind of like a central layer. And as Felix looked through, searching for markings of gemstones or ores or other minerals that would be delivered, as he has now understood that they are fundamental to alchemy and to magic, stopped at the last entry that abruptly concludes simply for a descending order on the left side of the ledger with the word dust. And that is where we will begin, with Felix Gray, standing alone in a nicely lit room. He's got a torch right behind him. It's not dark. Looking at a ledger at the word dust.
It's not dragon shit this time, hopefully.
Paul, what are you talking about? Why wouldn't
So anyway, you said that there was a ramp up past the ledger, correct?
Yeah, there's an additional
it's
room, like a
narrow.
corridor. Yes, it's narrow. The ramp looks like it's only about... Well, the room is narrow. Like, the passageway is narrow. It's only about, 8 feet wide for the archway. And then the room at the base of the ramp is only maybe, 10 by 10. And then it's a ramp ascending upwards.
Okay. And there doesn't appear to be anything else here other than this ledger.
Nope. Yeah, I mean, there would be, small scraps of, clothing and other miscellaneous pages of... Again, documentations for things that would have been signed off on for deliveries and shipments.
So it just says dust.
Yes, it is on the left side of the ledger, indicating that it is a descending order, going down lower.
Does it have an amount? Like a pound or...
It looks as though the word dust is written, and I will say again, I can't do calligraphy or nice writing, but for an individual who's got meticulous, well-crafted handwriting, it looks as though the word abruptly concludes at the T. You can see the line extend out. Oh. So, I mean, dust.
Oh,
Okay.
that's...
okay. So it kind of drags there was...
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got hit.
That's how I visualized it in my head.
He took the time to write out,
Oh no, I'm being kidnapped. Let me describe my captor.
I mean, blood on the wall behind.
Okay.
Let's find him.
Yeah, I will back away from the ledger slowly, and because that's just freaky. Back away.
Oh,
and
that's the freaking
go back to
thing.
my companions. I'm assuming they're in the hall.
Yep.
As I re-enter the room, are they together? Are they doing
Yeah,
anything else?
everybody had accumulated together.
Okay, as I enter the room and I can see them, into Yalumla's mind, I will say, the book in the other room was a ledger, and it seems as though the ingots of ore and gems are up, not down.
I'll communicate back because I'm able to.
Yes.
Perhaps that means that they're coming from below.
I'm not sure. It's probably that maybe they could be coming from below, but it's hard to say. The last entry in the ledger is quite disturbing. It's going down. It's just the word dust, but it concludes as if someone lost muscle control and dragged the pen across the paper.
Why would they be moving dust?
No idea.
Maybe they keep their trash down there.
Just
Perhaps.
a big garbage chute, dog.
No. Don't Star Wars me again. I don't wanna. If there's water in there, I'm getting out. I can't.
I've traumatized Don in so many ways.
So many ways.
It's great.
God. so much
There's water, I believe.
in and out of game, just generally.
It would make sense that the mines are below, so it would stand
Yes,
to reason that the gems would come up from there.
Possibly, but we wouldn't need to mine them ourselves as they are already refined if we go up.
You're assuming that they went up and then remained there, and were not carried away or utilized for something else?
I have no idea.
We can ask the others if they would like to go up
Sure.
instead of down.
Just, maybe phrase it gently.
Understood.
Nod. Completely rejoin the group.
Balor, you said that the market is below.
Yes, the market district.
What is on the upper floors?
People's homes. Felfarthen was a grand city. Many lived closer to the heights. The smiths and forgeries were down below.
And this room ahead,
Yes.
and some sort of ledger.
Yes. When things were brought up from the descent, they would eventually make their way here through the Great Hall and stop at this effectively post office to receive their ordinance for where to go.
What were the items from below utilized for above?
Buildings. Much masonry was done here, as well as, well, many would ascend with their shipments for their families. Many dwarves, just by their own nature, took great honor in crafting their own homes.
And they utilized some of the gems that were mined.
Well, some of the gems were used as decoratives. Some of the minerals that were sent to ascend after forged were used as, well, forging of great pillars of metal. Serve as a structure.
Would you have any cause to believe that some of the things we are looking for might be above?
It is quite possible. There are thousands and thousands of homes, though. Felfarthen was a great city.
And you believe there would be a greater concentration in a smaller array?
Well, down below holds the forge, as well as many of the areas that the masons would have gathered. Miners would have collected things in great carts. Not all might be refined.
I suppose if your people disappeared as quickly as you have said, that some amount of their work was left unfinished.
I do not know. I have not gone far down below.
Is this out loud or in his mind, by the way?
I'm just talking to
Okay.
him out loud.
I also believe that if we were to go up towards the houses, there are more places for things to hide. A lot more small rooms and corners. That could be dangerous. I would rather an open space. I
Yeah.
think.
I also wonder if whatever is leaving these tracks and those tracks continues upward or if it only continues downward.
I'm sure we can find out.
You
Yes.
may be able to avoid that by going up and around.
It does pose a threat going up, because there are many more places to hide. But if there is refined gems, that would be better to find them there than have to mine them ourselves.
How are these gems transported?
For what? For what he's indicating?
Up like this, the ledgers, like up, down. Was there like a series of pulleys or anything, or was it just where they were going from this point?
Yeah, for the ledger, it exclusively indicates their direction. I mean, I would say that, like, you guys have passed by several, like, carts in other buildings. There's not really, like, an enormous shaft where you can just take, like, an elevator up and down or, like, rig a pulley system like fucking Uncharted and just whee! Because that's an easy way for people to accidentally die.
Yep.
Or get there faster.
Or die immediately.
Die
Definitely
faster.
die.
Yeah.
That's how you end up with Dosha.
Right?
Dwarven occupation.
Yeah, I mean, Balor would also just outright say, if there are many spirits like me that live here in Felfarthen, I do not know of going to the homes.
Would they also be interested in the sword?
Other spirits such as I?
Yes.
I do not know. Not even I know what draws me to this blade. There is just something within its spirit that resonates with mine.
I'm gonna yell him low, discreetly.
Give him the old eyebrows.
Yes.
I do not think that we wish to turn Balor into a spirit vacuum if we go up.
Vacuum!
Luigi's Mansion.
It's fucking Luigi! Luigi! He's so fast!
That would be unfortunate, I suppose.
Yes, we have seen, Nesgrim, at the very least, saw...
We've seen Nesgrim.
Yeah,
It's terrifying.
Grim.
We've
horrible
seen
as it is.
Nesgrim.
We've known Nesgrim biblically.
We have seen Torvin disappear. I am not sure that bringing Balor towards possibly a greater concentration of dwarven spirits is a plan that seems logical.
Out loud to the group, I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of if we were to ascend or not, we still need texts about
We do still need to
mining
descend.
and forging,
They're in the...
and those are likely
Forge.
below.
Sure. Yeah,
If we have to go below either way, then perhaps we start there and only ascend if we must.
Balor, you said the forge is below as well,
Yes.
and the market is past the forge.
No, the market is before the forge.
Good, okay.
Market, forge, library, where I worked.
Sheridan Suites.
I was gonna say, did he tell us what he did? Did we ask that question?
Going to tell you that he told you he was a miner.
I meant to ask that question before you said library.
Yes.
Just to clarify.
Yes, yeah, no, you're fine.
Why did you live in a library?
I did not live with the tomes. I simply spent my days there, not my nights.
Sure. What did you read about? What was your interest?
All things dwarven. The history of this mountain.
Could we narrow that down slightly?
Stones.
Rubble.
Great piles of rubble. Glorious and glimmering.
Now, when you say
What library is this?
I assume you mean adult bookstore.
This is the section all the way in the back. It's covered in neon lights.
It's a slab bank. We'll call it that.
Slab bank.
There's curtains in the library.
Never mind.
As a side note, Twitch is putting out brand safety ratings for channels. I can't fucking wait to find out what
Dude, we're
ours is.
fine.
I can't
We
wait.
use good code words like rubble.
Yeah.
And
Is that
slab.
automatically applied?
Apparently it's manually reviewed. So
I welcome
How
whoever
is that
watches our channel.
logistically?
I
how
don't
is
know.
that possible?
I would imagine it's only going to be for larger
You're
streamers.
probably
So
look
we
at
probably
clips.
Yeah,
And just go,
yeah.
yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
We're real fucked if it's just clips, dude.
Ready for them to come across that reach around quick.
We're gonna blow them at the same time.
Is he finished?
Take it!
It's fine.
All right.
Yeah, no, I mean, he would have definitively just effectively said the history of this mountain. You say you want to narrow it down. He would say stones.
We're getting more narrow, sure.
Yes, great tunnels that are here.
Let's get a needle point on it.
Some formed naturally by things that exist below the ground.
Things being
All the large rats.
large rats.
We
The
talked about the
giants.
large rats.
There were many
Giants?
Yes.
Many, you said?
Yes.
We actually met one
Did you? A living giant.
Yeah.
Where did you meet such a wonderful creature?
In a cave.
Not near here.
Yes.
A faraway cave.
Please make a deception
Yeah.
check, Sarah.
Can I help?
Can you?
I mean,
Can you help? Do you
No.
have a perceivable
definitely far
reason for why you can help? Like an argument that you would also be able to simultaneously make.
I'm going to agree with her, and it's 2 against 1. That's the best.
No.
That's the
What's your
best.
roll, Sarah?
10.
10. Ooh.
Whether he believes me or
Ooh,
not.
my glorious.
It's pretty. Uh-oh.
Better roll than me.
I mean, it's an 18 on the die.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes. Quite far from here, I'm certain.
When you fail a deception check,
He doesn't definitively know that you're lying. He
Yeah.
knows that there is something strange about your behavior or your mannerism, your tone of voice. Like, it's not a lie detector. He knows that there is something strange about what you just said.
Where'd you meet
Out
him?
of-
Nowhere near here.
Yeah, I mean, to be very blunt, when it's a very singular sentence like that, nowhere near here, if you're behaving strangely, there are only so many antithetical beliefs to that.
yeah.
No.
It is near here, is the only one that I can envision.
With working at Growlers,
Uh-huh.
I would have seen a Goliath come and go quite often.
Yeah, you would have seen Buck, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, we know Buck.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know of, like,
Yeah.
Buck.
I've told you many a times, friends, he is not a giant, he's only half giant.
he drinks like a giant.
He does. Big appetite.
No, I think that would be thirst.
He's bigger than me.
Glenn, I'm going to ask you as well to make a deception check.
I'm just gonna look at
Ooh,
everybody,
baby.
like,
Yeah, I mean,
talking about.
Come on.
like, it's fine. It's not like, you know, he's natural. Oh, no! He's the most insightful man in my world!
Even a man.
Alright, so I'm going to preface this as I
It's
have
not like he
a
na-
negative 2 modifier to it.
I'm so sorry.
It's a 15.
Yeah, I did that 20. Whoops!
We're great at lying.
Yeah, right. I mean, or he's just an incredibly insightful, terrifying, ghastly man.
Say
Man.
ghastly
He's a ghost.
or
He's a ghost.
ghastly?
He's Pokemon.
No,
Can-
he's a ghastly.
Like,
Yeah, so I mean, you
have we
indicate
tried
that,
to
like,
touch him?
he,
Yes.
you know, used to
It's not a
drink
good
and
time.
things like that, and he says he drank like a giant, and he will just, again, mirthfully laugh. Yes, there are many things that can consume more than what they would look like they're capable of doing. Creatures are always performing such wonderful transmutations. And they are so magnificent to witness.
Perhaps we might read about some of these below. We should continue forward.
Oh yes, there are many records down in the library. Transmutations. Tricks to be played. A glorious city, Felfarthen.
Is that what you studied in the library?
No, I studied rocks. The wonderful properties of this stone. As it lives and breathes here around us. It is alive, this stone.
Is like, yeah, Okay. I was gonna say, is passive insight a thing?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Mine's 11.
Yeah.
I trust this guy, I guess.
Yeah.
Mine's,
100%.
mine's 15.
I mean,
Mine's 17.
I
14.
would say that, like, the two of you
how's my
are
wisdom?
sufficiently close, because, again, as we indicated, like,
Yeah.
passive deceptions.
This is the wrong character.
He's poised. Like, he's Sarah.
No!
Sarah.
Jessa, what are you doing here?
And I was like, you're a fucking druid.
It's like, why is my wisdom
Your
so low? That
insight's
doesn't
so
make
garbage.
sense.
You have to have, like, perpetual disadvantage.
Yeah.
He's poised. You can definitively glean that he speaks almost like in a coded sense of where he understands the language that he uses, to where in the same way that I'll always make the comparison like Gustavo. He always spoke about chicken, not meaning chicken. Do you know what I mean? When this motherfucker says rocks, you don't mean rocks.
Yeah.
It means something else.
14
Yeah.
is my passive.
14? Yeah, I mean, I'll say that the individuals who are 14 or higher would receive that comparable level of, this motherfucker's like,
So the way that he speaks is you. The way that
Don,
you...
I'm everyone.
Well,
I
yeah.
am eternal.
He's also Ukubo, so.
Including
That's
Barry.
true.
I'll not forget about Barry.
He's Barry.
Hey, Barry, drinking all the ale.
Just bring me another ale, dude. I got great stories. Yeah, so I mean, you can absolutely infer and pick up on the fact that this ghastly creature is speaking with a tonality and a sense of poise that is intentionally deceptive and coded.
Okay.
Okay.
What the code means, I don't
Yeah.
think you know.
But very specifically chosen.
Yeah, when he says, like, I worked in a library down below, and I studied rocks. But he says, the rocks are alive. And he has repeated a different phrase many other times.
Yep. He's also said that he's a miner and that they are the mountain. And
Yes,
he could
Don.
be, mining into the steel souls.
Thank you.
I guess as we proceed through the room,
Uh-huh.
I would look at Balor and ask aloud, do you mean, when you say you study rocks, do you study living rocks? Like Ganassi?
Children of the great elements. How glorious.
No!
What did you do?
Did a ghost just shudder?
Yeah! Yeah!
Oh, they eat them for power.
Paul, you weren't here to ask me the episode title. Did you look at it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, fuck! I want serious. Yeah.
You don't talk to me anymore.
Yeah, I mean, he would absolutely just, like, shudder and almost, like, the wrinkles in his face would roll, like, with ecstasy as the edges of his lips just quiver.
Oh, God.
Baru! Did you say you're an elemental? Yeah, no, he shivers with anticipation. And
I'm just gonna go and take a good old step between Vorst and Felix.
yeah, he just 100% would say, the children of the natural elements. It is so good to know that they still live and breathe. Well forged, child.
Well, do I got some shit to tell you?
Oh, tell me everything, please.
Nesgrim.
Perhaps this
I
whole
will
kidding-
immediately enter Nesgrim's mind.
You're just gonna have
Don't
3
utter
people
another
telepathically
word.
communicate with you. Shut the fuck up.
Everyone's
I
yelling, but
will,
nobody's
I will,
talking.
I will send you to the Forever Night.
I'm actually going to actively use my helmet
Who's
to weapon
telepathy?
it. Just shut
You
the
have
fuck
3
up.
people just invade your brain.
Stop it!
Stop it!
Not
the ghost dwarf!
I don't say anything, but you can feel my displeasure. You can feel that I'm there. You know that if you tried to talk to me, I'd hear it.
The
Oh, I
call's
have
been
some shit
connected.
to tell
There's just
you.
no one on the
Are you
line.
still going?
I'm breathing into the phone.
I'm sure that you do.
You're still going.
I'm excited to see what's down below.
Well,
As we all are.
this getting to know you has been fun, but if we continue on, we should go.
Yes.
Yes.
Plenty more time for talk.
The great hall is filled with fragments of splendor left behind before whatever it was that happened here. As I said, many people gathered here to take part in the delicious meads of the tavern right at the end of the hall. Perhaps if we find a cask, you might all enjoy a piece of my home. Such delicious meads.
Quite possibly. Now, shall we then?
Yes.
And I'm walking through the door, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm right behind him.
Cool.
Yep.
Where's
Same.
Rita?
Reardon's just like hanging out, just like.
I heard hail.
I mean, he's still fucking like drunk.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's
Bringing
just
up
like,
the rear.
dude, mead? That's like me.
And it's close to meat.
Mm-hmm. Drinkable meat.
Okay. Sure, Rita.
Do you mean blood?
I like meat.
Ooh. That sounds nice. Ooh. Hey, Nesgrim. Have you ever had any mead?
I don't know how you want me to answer this question, Rita.
Like a yes or a no?
I can't say that I have.
Maybe we could have a mead together sometime, man.
Sure.
Just like me and you. A couple of mead boys. Just doing mead things.
Oh my love. I guess
You know, whatever happens, happens.
I guess I'll meet you at the brewery.
Ah, that's a good one. I like that. This guy's really fun.
Thank you. I'm glad you're a
I've heard
fan.
that.
I'm glad you're a fan of mead.
I am. Big fan of you, buddy. Like, big, heavy-handed pat you on the back of the arm and just clank. So strong.
Pushes you forward.
Yeah, we all step into this room.
Yep.
So the Great Hall. It's a great hall.
That was an uncomfortable sound, John.
It's fun,
It is every time.
Yeah.
right? I don't know what you're talking about.
It's the only way I can sleep.
Same, dude.
You just have a white noise machine of John going,
I really could make that with all of the clips and things.
Yeah,
I could.
That's what I feel most bad for, the people who like have to rewatch our clips. It's just me terrifyingly shuddering with excitement as everyone says things.
Now I just want all of the island to fall with only the ohs and the shuddering.
Oh. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh.
and Paul yelling.
Yeah, so what's everybody's dark vision ranges? And Paul has torch lit, and Sarah as well has her staff with light.
60.
60 dark? 60 dark?
60.
Everybody should be.
60.
I wasn't sure whether or not anybody had any class features that had recently improved their dark vision distance. So if it's
Nesgrim's shield is also lit.
correct. Yeah. Yes, and your torch is lit with genuine
Naturally.
flame, which is beautiful.
It gives off a smell. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, like delicious ash and embers.
Dust.
Yes. Yeah, so I mean, you guys would be able to see out from the extent of your dark vision at the conclusion, you know, through the dim light. You guys would be able to see that this hall looks like it is filled with several large, like 5.5 foot tall, maybe 8 to 10 feet long, sets of like bar stools and tables, like the countertops, akin to what I have and what you would be very familiar with in Growlers. You can see that there are casks adorning the heights of the tables. You can see that there are many shelves that adorn the walls. There are 2 alcoves, one, as you're able to see very clearly, for the people who are inside here. is the only indication in this area that looks as though it was subjected to some kind of devastating cascade of rubble. It looks like there is a small hole in the ceiling in the corner of the alcove, in the central portion of it. This cascade rubbled all over. Rubbled all over.
Devastating cascade of rubble.
I think we found the rubble.
Catastrophic, even.
Yeah, no, you found the rubble.
Just rubbled all over this room.
It is the rubble hole, so that's where you do it.
That's where one goes to rubble. Who's the individual at the front of the party? Is it Yalenlo or is it Boris?
It is
I'm
me.
right behind him.
Boris, what's your passive perception, please?
My passive perception is a 12.
A 12?
12.
Yeah, I will say that as the person at the forefront, especially because of the illumination of the light around you guys, you're able to see that in the alcoved area, it looks as though there are smaller circular tables that are broken open. You can see, again, these splayed, fractured pieces of wood for the legs of what would be a table and a set of, like, probably 12 to 14 chairs.
He never stood a chance.
Amidst that... Sorry, what?
He never stood a chance.
Yeah, right? Amidst that area, you can see that there are like a litany of small fragmented pieces of bone crushed beneath said rubble. You can see like scraps of tattered pieces of clothing of different gray and earthy tones for what you would associate with either, you know, leather or cloth, like horsehair shirts, or you know, fur-lined cloaks, things like that are, again, disheveled and stuck beneath this. Amidst all of that, you would see the reflection of a shiny pile of silver coins splayed out, almost like a blood pattern. You know, if you were to like investigate a crime scene, you would see a centralized area and then a splaying out, almost like a hand. Sorts. Just silver coins. Just
Somebody just made it rain with these silver coins.
oh, I'm gonna rubble. Yeah. Found the fuck pit, Don.
At the library.
The rubble pit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's get ready to rubble!
Yeah, at the distance you would see the wall
the
kind of
royal
bends,
rubble.
indicating to you probably another alcove. I can't tell you that it's definitively that. Obviously, we can see the map, but you can see that it opens
just
up to the
dark,
right,
yeah.
and you can see that there is additionally a small opening there at the conclusion.
Yeah.
Is this alcove the only place where there's been a collapse?
Yes. In this room, yes.
Are there spider webs on everything still?
I would say that there are not really many spider webs in here. There are pieces of what look like tattered webs on the ground at the areas around the base of the poles. You can see cobwebs over like the heights of the casks and kind of cascading down over the legs and towards the edges of the bar countertops that they adorn, and
But nothing with like a definitive structure to
mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah, nothing with a definitive structure. Again, no natural light. There is a large tabard, like a cloth tabard that is kind of ripped mostly in half, where in the center of it, it is a large bluish patterned cloth. And in the center you can see that there is a white pickaxe and a skull.
And a skull?
Uh-huh.
Like
you
skull
talking
and
about, Doc?
spine, or skull and a stick?
A skull and a pickaxe. Just the skull.
Like on the pickaxe?
No, intersecting. So like pickaxe going shaft this
Oh.
way, pickaxe there, skull this way.
Understood.
Like a V. A beautiful crossed V. It's fine, Don.
Yeah,
Hey,
scooch me
quick
up
question?
like 10,
Yeah,
15
Quick question
feet.
before I forget, super important.
Yeah.
Are the tracks on the ceiling from the previous room?
I will tell you that the ceilings in the Great Hall are pretty high. It looks as though they're about 70 to 80 feet, so they would go 20 bright up. You're
Yeah.
ascending like 5 feet above you, or like right behind you. So 6, 11, and then 40 up. You would be able to see at... You don't have dark vision.
I do not.
You would be able to see that, like, the light kind of concludes in a dimness where you're not able to see stone. It looks like continuing darkness above
But I
you.
do see the tracks coming from behind on the ceiling and then go up.
You saw the tracks on the side walls through the one hallway, then on the ceiling, like,
Right.
in the area of what was the chapel, the hallway that you guys just passed through, the archway was broken on the left side, and it looked like it came in through the left side. So right by where you guys entered, it crested to the left, and then, yes, did ascend. So, like, you would see them kind of trail upwards at a diagonal, like a 45-degree angle.
So on the left, up. Okay, gotcha.
And, yes, they would extend out of your vision at a diagonal.
Just gonna stare up at those
Uh-huh.
for a minute.
Yeah.
Ether,
Yes.
you were afraid that we weren't going to find any bodies. And I'm going to point you towards the pieces of bone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do.
Oh, Don, make a wisdom save. And please move his character towards that direction.
13.
It's pretty good.
Terrible considering how high my wisdom is.
So, amidst the rubble,
Not wise enough.
in the areas where you can see that there is the collective of scattered clothing, the area where you see the ripped pieces of fabric, you see, again, kind of like the shining glimmering for you, so distinctly memorable, fragments of bone. Like, not polished, obviously.
Yep.
There's going to be a slight discoloration to them because they're old and dusty. But amidst the pile of rubble, you kind of, for a moment, aren't certain whether or not your eyes are playing tricks with you. Because you see this strange, sudden shaking of a pile of robes. You know, in like old-timey Halloween films, when bones would rattle and shake very suddenly and resonate, and you hear the clacking of bones striking each other, like almost a chittering sensation. And you see the cloth kind of shake, the general shape of what looks like shoulders kind of wrinkling and curling themselves, and then stop. And you take a moment and wonder, did I just see that?
I'm gonna pull out my bone short sword and just kind of.
Going to approach it further.
Yes.
I would say that this would occur when you are about 15 feet away as you begin to walk directly towards it.
Sure.
Are you going to walk the additional feet towards the thing and poke it with your bone short sword?
I am. I'm also gonna cast light on the short sword so I can get a better visual as I
Sure.
get closer. Since the torch is lit, so it's not being used for that anymore. Or did I cast it on your staff?
Cast it on my
okay,
staff.
then I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
Nesgrim cast it on the torch because when he cast it on the shield, the torch
It
went
went
out.
out.
Then I
That's
would-
why.
Ask Nesgrim. Nesgrim, could
Well,
you?
Nesgrim is the one who has it on his shield now. Paul
Oh,
lit his
damn
torch
it.
manually.
Okay, all right.
He lit his shield, you lit her staff, his
Got it.
torch is actual fire.
Okay. Same thing. I'm nothing. There's no.
Like
So no
telephone.
additional light. Stepping over towards this pile of bones and
Yes.
tattered clothing.
Yeah, and trying to
Sift through
sift
and
through and see
separate
what's
it.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
If I was looking in this general direction, did I see any of that happen?
no. You just watched Ether
Just
kind of like
What the hell?
take a
Just
few
go
steps,
poke it?
and then you would have seen that like he would have paused for a few seconds. Like, not really give much of an indication that something peculiar occurred. Peculiar indeed.
Aside from the fact that I drew my sword, which I pretty much never
do.
especially to
But
use
yeah,
for a purpose
you guys
like
watch
this.
that Ether just brandishes his blade as he walks towards this pile.
A sword.
You're
made of
confused by the
bone.
bones.
Yeah, he has a big bone sword. I don't know whether or not anyone wants to do anything before this occurs. If not, we're gonna go to that.
I'm staring at tracks.
I mean, if I see Ether step over there,
Mm-hmm.
I have a light stick.
Mm-hmm.
Probably,
Yeah, directed in that
Yeah.
way. And would you move over towards it as well?
probably.
Towards Ether.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you be looking at Ether or in the direction for what Ether is looking at?
Probably both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please as well make a wisdom save, Sarah.
I would probably retain the spot that I'm at,
That's a natural.
but seeing
19.
him pull his sword, I would probably raise mine up higher to see, so I could kind of
Yeah,
see
like wave
better
the
into
light.
the corner.
Sure.
25.
25? Yeah. Did you say you rolled a natural 20?
19.
Oh, 19.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, you look over, and to you, it doesn't remotely feel suspicious whatsoever. It looks like a strange... You've seen many piles of rubble inside of Felfarthen already. This one doesn't look any different to you. The presence of clothing might seem a little suspicious, but again, you guys have found corpses already, especially in the room where you found the map and the other pieces of information. Balor has told you that there were many people that gathered in here. It doesn't seem strange to you whatsoever, but yes, you hold aloft the Moontouch sword and kind of wave it. And as you do, you watch as the ethereal form of Balor just kind of wisps around at the height of it. Just kind of, again, dancing around the tip of the blade, going waxing and waning above and below. And he just kind of is still looking at the Moontouch sword. But you watch as his eyes suddenly glance towards Ether, and a slight grin touches his lips. You brandish your bone sword. Anyone doing anything before said poking begins?
I have no idea that that's happening.
Yeah, no, I'd be standing there watching that door to make sure nothing followed us in.
Felix is keeping his eye on the wall and looking upwards towards the darkness to see whether or not he sees any additional tracks or anything suspicious occurring. Glenn, or Vorst, holds aloft the Moontouch sword.
Yeah, I'm watching Ether.
Yeah, looks at Ether and watches as Ether kind of tentatively steps forward and pokes into this pile. Please make an attack roll.
Natural 20.
You watch as, like, you just very deftly, you know how there's obviously the collar for what would be naturally, like, conically formed for a thing that's worn, like, usage over time, like you were doing with the mask, like how we have the bridge that is formed from our nose. You see that there's an area where it kind of ascends slightly over the curvature for where the spine would be, and just deftly slide your blade through that opening, and I'll say that you kind of flip up to unveil whatever is here. As you slide and remove this fur cloak that is a very dark black looking color, you watch as these bones right below them burst into a pile of dust as they unveil themselves and just dissipate in a puff. You watch as all the cascading dust settles down on the stone below the bones.
Is that what I see? If you want to let me know what I see.
You passed the wisdom save. You are correct. No, you would just see as Ether pulls this back. Bless you. You would just see there are no bones.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
It just looks like additional scattered pieces of clothing that were kind of oddly shaped and constructed. So when he whiffs the cloak back, you see dust kind of strike up into the air, but it just looks like, again, somebody picked up an incredibly dusty thing very abruptly. Bless you. And the emanating
very dusty,
gust from the
wasn't it?
movement just stirred up some of the dust in the area. But you see no bones. And I will say that you are right with Balor, and you just hear him kind of lightly chuckle to himself. It seems the spirits are close. Closer than I thought. And you're standing here with this cloak now slightly cast aside from this pile of dust.
I'm gonna flip over the cloak
Sure.
and see if I can see any like markings or insignias on it or anything on the inside or the outside.
Sure. I will tell you that, like, are you bending down to do this with your hands, or are you
Yes.
doing this, like, with your... Okay, yeah.
Careful to avoid this bone dust that exists.
Sure, yeah,
for
absolutely.
sure.
You kneel down and you still one hand on your short sword, kind of grab the collar and turn it over, and you can see that the lower portion, so maybe about a third or so of the cloak, has been ripped off where rubble had landed on it previously, and it looks as though it stretched,
Okay.
and it looks as though it suddenly ripped. So you know that, like, when a substance that is able to undergo that, like, tensile pulling and then will stretch and then kind of,
Yeah,
like,
it's got that
curl.
weird- yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it has that curling at the bottom, indicating that, like, the cloak was under rocks and then moved and then ripped and then reverberated back. So, like, was pulled back. I will say that you don't see any real markings or insignia. It looks like it is a plain black, like, wolf fur cloak. where you have, maybe about half to 2/3 of the cloak remaining.
Okay. There's rubble over here as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And a pile of beautiful silver coins just splayed out on the ground.
Yeah, I don't want to touch those. Ether doesn't give a fuck about money, and I know better. I'm gonna kind of see if I can look into the rubble at all and see anything in particular. If there's like any spots where like larger stones are sitting and there's gaps.
Sure, absolutely. I'll say that you're able to, because your passive perception and your natural perception is exquisitely high, where it would feel unfair to make that a check that you can perceivably fail, especially since you're not pressed for time. I will say that you can see that there's kind of a natural gap kind of formed where there are two large, amorphous kind of circular shapes that kind of touch at a point. And you can see that there's a very small opening, maybe about, like a foot in diameter.
Okay.
So only about yay big at the bottom of these conjoining rocks. And it is through that you see the silver coins splayed out on the ground.
Oh, more of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Within arm's reach.
Okay. Is there like a bag that they're in or something, or are they just like, is this just a pile of coins?
Pile of coins.
Eek.
Some of them kind of, tentatively leaning on one another. So like a stack was splashed over.
They had a coin pusher in here, didn't they?
Like
I give the people what they want. Yeah, just a pile of silver.
Would I be familiar with gambling?
I would say probably not.
That's fair.
So these are under rocks.
Uh-huh.
Do they look real shiny despite being under rocks for an extraordinarily long amount of time?
As though they are, for some reason, not covered in dust?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They look shiny. They don't look tarnished.
Right.
They look, like there's a thin veil of dust over them, but they are still...
Less than I would expect.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you okay, Ether?
Yeah, I would say that to be able to do this, you would be like down on your
Yeah,
knees
for
and like
sure,
kind of
yeah.
crouching down low and like peeking through this hole.
There are more coins in here. These silver coins, but they are cleaner than I would have expected for being under rocks. They have only a thin layer of dust on them.
Perhaps a trick?
Possibly I do not wish to reach my hand into this hole.
Oh.
Should the rocks shift, though I imagine they will not. They've been here for such a long time. They have probably settled already, but...
Any of them outside of the hole?
The ones over here seem to be similar.
Yeah, there's a small pile of what looks like between 20 and 45 silver.
It's pretty odd that the ceiling would collapse in just this one area.
Yes.
Most of the other rooms we've been in have
Pick
been
up a piece of silver.
Mm-hmm.
I also
Looks like silver.
Yeah, just like a minted silver coin.
Feels like silver.
Yeah, absolutely.
Smells like silver.
Absolutely. A little bit of a dusty odor. Yeah, I'll say that you accumulate 35 silver.
It's a lot of silver.
I also saw the bones under this cloak
What bones?
dissolved into dust in the air.
Ether, there are no bones.
There were bones. When I flipped the cloak over, they
no,
vanished.
There were not.
You simply shifted a cloak?
There was nothing there.
I saw them rattling. They made a sound.
I was looking at the same things you were, and I saw no such thing.
Again, possibly a trick?
Yes, I suppose so.
Don, are you
Did
still
you see
kneeling
your
in front of the hole,
shadow?
looking in?
I would be looking back now, but I would still be kneeling. That's what I would have done.
Better.
Yeah.
Please,
Let me just expose my neck real quick.
make me a Constitution saving throw.
Con save. 13.
13?
Yep.
You feel, as you turn your head and would you have gestured towards the hole when you're indicating that there are additional
For
coins
sure,
in this
yeah.
area?
Yep.
So as you're like
Absolutely.
kneeling kind of low to the ground, slightly horizontal, would have gestured towards the hole, indicated that there were more coins. You would have felt this like chilling grasp kind of right around the edges of your neck, like right at the base of your hairline, right behind your ear. Just this very chilling, running down sensation of what would, oddly enough, feel like fingers. Just running the length of your neck on the side. And then tightly grip your collar.
I would push myself away from the rock.
Please make a strength saving throw.
Real good at those. Oh, that's a natural 1, -2.
That's a negative one.
Even worse than natural 1.
In order to push, I need to
Divided
pull.
by 0. Ether ceases to exist.
Just pull him into the...
He leans into it.
Yeah, I would say that, like, you feel this, and you go to move, and there feels like nothing in you constitutes the urge to actually resist. That you go to pull, but instead of pulling away, you remain motionless. Almost like a strange sense of acceptance. Like, this is all right. It's not unwelcome to me. This touch feels all right. There's no reason to move from this. You give the little bit of resistance and just kind of slightly move back and forth. You all just see Ether kneeling here looking at you, and he stops talking for a brief second, and you watch as he just like slightly wobbles back and forth for only a brief moment.
Ether?
I would probably
As
also...
he's wobbling, I would ask him, almost chastising him, did you also see your shadow being squeezed?
Okay. No, I do not think so.
I'll approach
Mhm.
Ether as to inspect the area that he claims to have seen bones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see a large sweeping pile of dust around this area in which this cloak was removed.
Just I'll get closer to the,
Mm-hmm.
the spectral hand, no problem.
And you said he's wobbling, but he doesn't seem to be making any sort of like weird facial expression.
No, I mean, it would possibly like a look slightly of confusion, but like when I say wobbling, I mean he would just kind of like,
Come on, buddy.
like
Like,
more like shifting. Like wobbling, I
Yeah,
think
like
is a
kinda
very embellished, probably incorrect word choices. Like I would think he would just be like slightly shifting, where it might just be uncomfortable.
Swaying.
Yeah, he's not like, whatever the fuck's in this hole, we're trying to party.
I would say, while that was happening, I also probably would have, if I'm in that state of like, I don't need to like move or anything, I probably would have loosened the grip on my sword
Sure.
momentarily, and then when I was asked a question, probably
Tighten your grip.
tighten my gripping.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are just looking at Ether as he kneels in front of this hole, strangely not moving away from it now.
Ether,
Yes.
shall we move on?
Am I able to answer it?
You're able to answer.
Okay,
You
I
are
didn't know if
fully
there
in
was like
control
a-
of your
okay.
mental faculties.
Yes, I think so. This is still strange that this silver is in here, though. So, shiny.
I agree.
It could be dwarven silver.
Could be.
Yes.
Can you reach it?
I'll reach my hand out to, because if he's in the way,
Mm-hmm.
I'll help him up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You
Reach my
see
hand.
as Ether, or Felix extends his gloved hand down
Yeah,
towards
I'll
you.
reach my hand out.
Sure.
Pull him up.
Yeah. You take you take Ether's hand. You pull him. For a moment, it feels like Ether is like dead weight in your hand. Like limp. And as an individual whose strength score, if I remember correctly, is like a 6 or a 7,
It is. But I've got Mastery of Force on.
Very good.
Make me roll.
Oh yeah, no, it's not gonna be a roll. He feels like dead weight in your hand, and when you pull him up, it feels like he gives you no assistance. It feels like you are lifting a limp body in your arms. When you stand up, please make me a Constitution saving throw.
7.
7. As Ether stands, as you lift him up, he just his knees buckle, and he looks feeble for a moment, and just kind of collapses into your chest.
Can I help brace him?
Yeah, absolutely. You're in the area,
Yeah.
You would definitively see that he doesn't look all right. He looks off. It doesn't necessarily look like dizziness. It looks like the strength from him has been sapped away from his
no.
body.
That's so much worse.
Yes, it is. Uh-huh.
Great.
Ether, are you okay?
Are you okay?
So sorry.
Oh, Dawn. Please reduce your strength score by 2.
Oh no.
Well,
Does that put you down 7 or 8?
Puts him at 5.
Puts me at 5.
5?
So now what you're carrying really matters.
Uh-huh.
You can't
What are you
even
carrying, bud?
When can you not
Yeah,
carry your own
I'm
body
over
weight?
encumbered.
At a 0, you die.
Yeah, I'm over encumbered.
You
so I just...
feel the weight of your belongings kind of just,
Nesgrim, or Vorst, if you could please take some of my things.
Ether, what's wrong?
Sure. I can.
I feel, weak.
he's just tired. It's a long journey in Felfarthen.
Is that Balor?
While he's saying that, I'm gonna look at Yalumlo. Just wide-eyed stare at him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna contact Nesgrim.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna stare at him.
You widen your eyes back.
I'll move over to Felix then, lock eyes with Felix, and just...
Just slowly, uncomfortably stare at your friends.
Yeah, as I have Ether slumped on me.
Yeah, slumped
shit,
against
right.
your body. You're like, oh my god, my
Help.
friend. Please.
Help.
just keep staring at Yalumlo then.
Is there a problem, Nesgrim?
You gonna
I'm
help?
doing
Oh,
the
cool.
thing.
All right, good.
Yeah, I'm gonna hand you my 10-foot pole.
Give me your
Why-
10-foot pole, Don.
Why
I
do you
want your
have
10-foot
that?
pole.
Why are you keeping that?
It's common adventuring gear.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
very
I'm gonna
useful.
hand you that.
Yeah.
Just extend.
And I'm gonna hand you 5 of my torches.
Sure.
You gotta add those to your inventory. Because I need to know if you're ever
I'm
encumbered.
gonna hand you 8 of my torches.
What are you doing with these?
Whee! Yeah, you struggle, recognize that you are having a difficult time maintaining your own weight,
Yep.
and offer some of these items to Nesgrim. Yalum
Are they all made of bone?
The torches, thank God, are not.
The 10-foot
The
pole made of
lantern
bone.
is.
Yes, my
It's
lantern is.
bone.
So 8 torches.
And a 10-foot pole.
Yep. But yes, Yalumlo then communicates into Nesgrim's mind and says, "What's
I'll
wrong?"
try and steady Ether.
Yeah.
I'm helping.
Yeah, the two of you are able to keep him steady as he hands over some of his items, and when he concludes that, he looks like he's a little bit more sure-footed. But yes, Yalumlo communicates into Nesgrim's mind, says, "What's wrong?" DJ.
Sorry, I
I like to imagine that he doesn't respond.
I wanted to finish adding the torches before I forgot
Yep.
what number I was at, and it would have been a thing. In regards to our friend here, Balor, I can make him go away if you'd like, or if at any point we would like.
Do we think that's necessary?
Ether doesn't look great. Balor is saying it's just because he's tired. Have you ever seen Ether to behave like that when he's tired?
I have not.
I can't recall so either. I'm worried perhaps that Balor knows more than he's letting on. And if so, perhaps he's connected to what just happened to Ether.
Do you have any way of finding out before you dispose of him?
I can sense all the fiends and undead in the area.
You already know that he is a ghost.
True.
I can sense that.
Sure. I can make him flee for a minute.
That's awfully specific.
It's how long my presence lasts. I'm only able to scare somebody for a minute. After that,
You can only hold that for a minute. And I'm gonna cut the connection.
and I would still be
And then I'm
thinking,
gonna chuckle to myself out loud.
Please come back.
I would still be thinking, no, wait, that's not what.
Been pretty
Only a
successful at
minute.
scaring off people for more than a minute before. Just in different ways.
Okay. Don, what's your passive perception as well?
22.
22?
Yes.
Yeah. I will say that out of the corner of your eye and your heightened sense of like almost anxiety, like you know when fight or flight really starts to kick in and you just really try to hone your senses to discern like what around you does feel like a threat, I will tell you that with the height of what you're able to see with your dark vision and the illuminations around you, you get the strangest sense as like you're weightless against the body of Felix and you begin handing these things over to Nesgrim. You get this strange sense that you feel almost like small particles of stone and dust like cascading around your head. Just every couple of seconds, just it feels like something smacks against the corner of your head. You feel like dust kind of fall around you.
I'm gonna whip my head up and like cover my eyes and just be looking up.
Yeah, absolutely. You look up and you don't see anything. You see the ceiling, about 75, 80-ish feet up. Looks like beautiful marble. Almost reflective in a way. It's so smooth and polished. Just look up and you see a small reflection of just you and your friends around you in this marble. Even in the dark.
Do I see Balor's reflection?
No.
Okay.
You said about midway down the hall there's like stools and a bar top.
There are ones all along the
All
wall,
along the wall?
at that side, yeah.
Yeah.
There's one with casks of ale and there are broken bar stools, and then on the opposite side of the pillar, there's a dilapidated cart that looks like it has several casks and barrels of mead that have spilled out and been broken. You can see it kind of stains the back wall where it would have like some kind of fungal growth on it because like the mold that would be formed from the sugars from mead. And then further along the wall you would see another bar with another intact cask. Covered in cobwebs, but a standing kind of elevated cask like we got.
Yeah. And watching my friend stand here and
Just look
space
up
out, can't stand up, start spacing out, I'm going to go ahead and scoop him out of the other two's arms.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to walk him over to a stool and plop him up.
Yeah.
Pour some water in my hand and start flicking it in his face.
Yeah, I'll say that you find a stool that is not fully and completely broken and you're able to help sit Ether down. You pull out a water skin. Ether is just kind of still like almost transfixed on the ceiling above. You begin to splash water in his face.
There's dust falling on my head.
There's no dust, friend.
I feel it running down my hair.
That might be the water I'm flicking in your face.
No,
I'm going to give him a good old pat on the face.
Before I'm being attacked.
Oh, God!
As Vorse takes him away, I'll bring my torch into my hand and kneel down where he was looking and kind of, if I can, direct the torch inward so that way it's a lit space.
I will tell you that the gap for it is only about a foot in diameter. I will say that while you probably would be able to telekinetically angle the torch horizontally and try to...
Oh no, I would hold it with my hand.
Oh, your actual hand? And try to
so I'm
just poke
physically
it
holding
through.
it now.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say that it's a diameter like a circumference that the torch is going to be able to make it through. I can't promise that the torch will remain lit if it like strikes the rocks or anything like that.
I can use this.
Right.
I have my staff that's glowing.
Yeah.
So
Poke the
as
hole.
I do that, are you gonna cut me off with the staff?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay,
I mean,
yeah,
you watch
I'll-
as like Felix approaches with the torch in hand, kneels down, and goes to insert it. I don't know if you would genuinely like to intervene.
Felix,
Mm.
there's no fire on this one.
I'll pull the torch away.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Yeah. You kneel down and poke the staff through.
Yeah.
Yeah, you poke
I
this.
see.
You poke the staff through. You can see that the alcove concludes maybe about like 8 to 9-ish feet backwards. It's a curved wall. You can see that the wall looks intact. As you poke your staff through, you can see that again there are many splayed, tattered pieces of cloth and clothing and fur from like cloaks and things like that. And you guys, while you're poking the light through, as it kind of cascades and bathes the interior of this small hovel formed by the rock opening, you watch as it seems the shadows very suddenly recede. Like, not uniformly, but
Not
like...
naturally.
Yeah, it almost looks like hands, like finger-length waves just kind of scrape along the interiors of the rock and dissipate out into nothing.
John,
What are you
does it look like the other hand,
What are you
man?
What are you talking about, Paul?
Does it look like the other hand?
What hand?
What hand, Paul?
What are you talking about?
The hand from the bad hole.
The bad hole hand?
Yeah.
The hand
Yes.
from the bad hole?
Hole
The hand
hands.
specifically
I will
count?
Yes.
genuinely I will recoil back and kind of like stumble. And you said that the only other things we see in there are
The pieces
furs
of
and
silver
cloth.
and then
No
additional
silver.
pieces of clothing. There is silver,
silver?
there is silver at the back of the alcove. So again, there's another what looks like maybe 30 to 50 pieces of silver splayed out on the ground. None of it's like covered in blood or anything. It's just got like a little bit of dust on it, man. It's just silver.
right. Kind of like fall backwards and look at Retora. That was weird. Did you see it?
Did I see it?
Yeah, both of you would have seen it.
I did.
Oh, we are not alone.
I think that's established from the beginning. I look over it.
Balor.
Balor. We knew Nesrim saw something
They
in the corner.
don't show themselves.
They don't like the light.
Kind of like adjust
Real quick,
my
sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but real quick, I will tell you because you're still indicating to me that you're looking up at the polished marble ceiling.
Yeah.
I will tell you that as you watch as Felix and Retora kneel down and insert this light, you watch as the light around them slightly dims. There is still obviously light that's going to make its way out. Again, akin to like a hooded lantern where
Sure.
it has the cone.
Yeah.
Based light, and there is other light from you guys out in the area. But as you're looking at the polished marble and you watch their light slightly fade away, you watch as what looks like ethereal black smoky hands wrap around the waists of Felix and Retora. And then as the staff, a second later, do you still have the staff in? When Felix would recoil, would you pull the staff out?
Probably.
When the staff returns, you watch as these hands just suddenly dissipate in a puff of smoke. But you would see that in the marble. Sorry, I want to let Paul continue what he was saying. I just wanted to make sure that I said that before Paul finishes his thought.
Yeah, I'll say what I say after he finishes his thought.
Yep. I was going to adjust my clothing, kind of like dust myself off because I would have like kind of like lurched back. And as Retora, I guess, pulls out the staff, if I'm able to see a piece of silver, I would try and grab it with Mystic Hand and pull it out.
Yeah, you're able to pull a piece of silver, and then...
Yeah, so I would be looking up at the ceiling and say, dusty rain, hands. And then I would kind of look over at my friends.
I'm gonna full-blown slap him now.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's talking nonsense, and this has got to get cut out right now.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I'm going to attempt to push Vorst out of the way to get over to my friends.
Sure, absolutely. You feel
Yeah.
as his hand connects with your cheek, and you go to move beyond him. I don't know whether or not you would attempt to
I'm
halt
not
him.
moving.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not moving.
Good
I'll
luck with
ask
that.
you guys to make contested grapple checks.
That's
So
fine.
I don't care whether or not I would permit Don to utilize athletics or acrobatics because in my eyes he would be the one trying to escape the grapple. But if you're attempting to hold him, it would be an athletics check.
Well, there.
10.
10.
It's gonna be a 19 plus 6. You ain't
You're
going
going nowhere, buddy. So yeah, like
Big hook.
you lurch forward to get yourself off the stool, and you just feel the large muscular arms of Forrest wrap around your shoulders.
Nice.
With you suddenly moving, I would conceive that as you starting to like fall forward.
Okay,
So I would
sure.
like scoop you to make sure you didn't
Sure,
fall
sure, sure.
again.
Vorst, we have to help them.
Turn around.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Yeah, you just see Felix and Retora, like, I would imagine, beginning to slightly slide away from this hole.
I see no danger.
There were shadowy hands when the torch went in.
The shadows here seem to play tricks.
Would I
How
have
is-
seen any of that?
How is Balor behaving as this is going on?
Balor's just staring at whoever is most proximate to this hole, just kind of grinning.
So he's watching them and seems pleased.
Are your eyes still drifting? Like, are you still
That's up
looking
to you.
around,
Yeah,
or
you have full and total control over
are you
physical
talking
faculties.
to me? Like, you're looking at me and talking.
I mean, I'm looking past you at them.
Mm-hmm.
If you're right in front of me, I'm constantly trying to adjust to
Yeah.
look past you.
I would get in your
Yeah.
line of sight and say that the shadows here seem to play tricks, and I'm going towards Balor.
Mm-hmm.
They were hands.
I'm sure there were, friend.
Vorst,
Yes?
could we perhaps borrow your sword for a moment?
You have your own?
I know, your sword is obviously different from mine.
Yes.
We were trying to see more inside the hole, and Balor seems to be quite interested. I wonder if your sword would illuminate anything more in the hole. Put your
Balor-
sword in the hole.
Balor 100% just takes his eyes from the individuals proximate to the hole and looks right over at Ether. I see that you're quite a fan of Felfarthen, friend. Do you hear it?
Do I hear what?
The beating of its heart. Please make an intelligence saving throw.
2 minus 1!
Damn it! Throw
Take
those
me
dice
home!
away!
Country road.
We need a dice jail.
I will tell you that as he says, do you hear it, the beating of its heart, you don't hear what sounds like the traditional bum bum, bum bum. You hear instead echoing in what feels like the entire space around you, the cracking of thunder.
Oh, God.
Some tinnitus.
Just like the horrific sudden booms that fill your ears, like thunder was crackling right at the edge of your head.
Yeah, I'm gonna just be
Yeah,
looking
you
around.
guys see as Balor says that, and Ether just impulsively covers his ears. Oh my god!
There it is!
Sounds like a sneeze.
Warning! Yeah, but he says that, and you watch as Ether just shakes slightly and covers his ears. You still hear it in your head, even as your ears are covered.
Yeah, I'm gonna just like kind of tuck into a ball a little bit and just kind of.
That is enough. You will
So-
leave him alone.
I'm not doing anything to your friend. He's simply enjoying all that Felfarthen has to offer.
Vorst, you should put
There's-
your sword in that hole.
There's no fun here.
But it is such a fun place.
That may be so, but he is not very fun. He does not seem to be enjoying it.
Vorst,
Aren't you enjoying it?
if he's enjoying the hole that much, you should introduce him to it.
Don't think so. I think we should continue on.
Balor, why are you so interested in this hole?
I'm not interested in it.
You're smiling at those getting close to it.
Felfarthen is known for its tricks.
And what trick is this?
The Great Hall was home to many magicians
Sure.
who would perform to entertain the guests that made their way through the thoroughfare.
Uh-huh.
You've simply found a table where one of the illusionists sat and was paid for his proclivities in glorious silver.
Why
I'd simply like some of the silver.
you would like some of the silver? Why?
Well, powdered silver is very valuable.
What use would you have for material objects?
Still able to do things.
Are you?
I dabbled in illusion myself as a hobby.
You don't say.
I do love a good trick.
What is this trick here?
They utilize the alcove and manipulate the shadows on the wall to play tricks with the people who stare at it. Again, magicians are fantastic at making you look one way and doing something in another.
What are they doing while your attention is misdirected?
They take your silver.
So he was not paid in silver.
My pass! Oh, my pass!
I literally was just thinking about that like 30 minutes ago.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna just be kind of rocking back and forth and say, thunder,
Yeah.
thunder.
Why does Ether hear thunder?
The mountain speaks. He hears the heart that beats at the gates of Felfarthen.
I'm gonna start repeating his words.
Yeah.
You said the rubble collapsed here, and there was a hole in the ceiling.
Yeah, along the back of the alcove. Yeah, at the height of the ceiling. It looks like the ceilings inside of the alcoves are drastically lower. Like, only about 40 to 45 feet compared to the height of the ceiling of the Great Hall itself.
Is there enough rubble here to feasibly climb to the hole in the ceiling?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Start climbing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, why would you add another problem?
Retort, please, just one crisis at a time.
Hold on, give me a second here. So, I recoil out, I observe the silver, I hear them talking.
Yep.
What is Retora doing? Is she still near me, or is she moved?
Retora would be near you at the beginning of this conversation, and then she would look up at the hole at the alcove with her quarterstaff that would be illuminated by the dim light at the edge of it, and move towards the rubble and probably place a single hand on a stone and look like she's beginning to ascend.
I feel like a damn babysitter.
Dude, this party
He's
rules.
over here mumbling and scooching around. He's asking me a bunch of questions. Hey, get down off of that! Stop climbing!
So, as she goes to ascend,
Yes.
I'll lift the torch up to move with her as she climbs, despite her having light.
Uh-huh.
So I'll try and move it with her, just to kind of give additional light.
Sure. So, in terms of visualization, if the alcove is 20 feet backwards, the ceiling is about 40 feet, and the whole...
Okay, so I would walk with her then.
You would have to slightly ascend some of the rubble to be able to give yourself... How far out can your mystic hand thing go?
30 feet.
30 feet? Yeah, then you're okay. You would be literally like right at the edge of the rubble, holding it out towards the back of the alcove, slightly up. That would be within your reach to be able to give her light as she begins climbing. All right. This is going to be a wonderful litany of events that are going to simultaneously happen. I'm very excited. You watch as Retora begins to ascend. We hear the whispers of Ether as he begins to repeat the words of Balor of thunder.
God damn it.
The gates, the heart of Felfarthen. Retora places a second hand as she starts to climb up the rubble. Felix sends his mystic hand slightly outwards with the torch to illuminate the area above at the brimming opening for where this is. I will tell you that as your torch reaches out and you still are holding your quarterstaff, you take your second, arm against the rocks, elevate yourself, and put pressure, holding your quarterstaff tightly to your body. You, in front of you, watch Felix's torch sliding out, slightly elevating, and as it approaches the back of the wall, you can see that very swiftly from the opening of the alcove, out extending from the dim light, a pair of massive, 6 fucking, feet, black hands.
Oh my god.
Just...
Wait, 6 feet here to here.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Yes. Just out of the entirety of the opening, you see the extending portion of forearm to what looks like extending down and just rips the light from the torch. Doesn't remove the torch. You just see the black shadowy fingers interlock around the wick and rip the fire from it. And the torch goes out and you see it sizzle and pop.
How big was the giant's hand?
6 fucking... Or the Adelstan?
Adelstan, yeah.
Yeah, Adelstan's hand would be about approximately comparable size. Uh-huh. And you watch the torch just... And the
I'm assuming I don't see this.
You do as well.
Her
I do?
staff,
Okay.
your staff would still be lit, right?
Her staff is still lit.
It's not trying to go after that.
Didn't do anything to the staff. The staff is still by her at the edge of the rubble.
I'm further away than the
Correct.
torch was. The torch
Yeah,
was a
the
lot
torch
closer to
was
it.
reaching the edge of the alcove and something sucked that shit right out. Aether says,
Thunder.
It seems there were not just dwarves here.
"No, there are many giants that assisted us in our work here in Felfarthen. Great creatures of the elements. We honored them. And the giants still linger here. You still hear the cracks of thunder."
Thunder.
Into Ratora's mind, I'll say, get back, get back.
You're stopped on the rock right now.
I'll climb back down.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pull my torch back.
Yeah, you pull your extinguished torch back towards your body.
Felix, do you want to try that again, but with light this time?
I don't think you should put out your light.
Oh, no, of course
I,
you should
I don't
try.
want to antagonize it.
Everything in Felfarthen is so hungry.
Hungry.
I don't mind removing light from my shield.
No.
To see what happens.
I'm gonna speak into Aether's mind.
Mm-hmm.
Aether,
Yes.
are you alright?
I do not know.
I'm going to tell you that when you establish a telekinetic link, his voice sounds distant, and you hear the echoes of thunder in his mind.
Sure.
Yep.
I do not know.
There is something messing with your head.
Yes.
You should come back. Stay present here, despite the noise.
I am trying. It is so loud.
Remember what is real. Your friends are right here in front of you.
The mountain is also real.
I understand that. The mountain is in your head, not in front of your eyes. We are inside of the mountain. It is talking to you like I am.
I know.
Clouding your perception.
Yes.
We need to carry on.
Okay.
We cannot carry on if you do not come back.
I will try.
Don, please make a wisdom saving throw.
That is a 22.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
I will tell you that as Yalom Lo rescinds the telekinetic connection to you, it feels like the thunder begins to fade as he also dissipates from you. Your mind begins to return to a different sense of clarity as the thunder starts to silence around you. But swiftly there is this strange sensation of striking lightning in front of your eyes and a brilliant flash. And as you blink, for what feels like a flash of a moment, you see this tall, long, slender face from height to bottom. It feels as though you're standing up above a ledge looking down into a chasmic dark. And amidst that dark there is only this face. A withered, pale bluish gray with what looks like swirls of black around the cheeks, around the sockets of the eyes, extending inwards, almost tracing the patterns of the bones, the features of the face, the mouth open and extended downwards, fully in a gasp, the eye sockets vacant and empty. No eyes, simply hollow. But you see the still flesh intact of this massive 9-foot, strangely welcoming creature with slicked back silver hair. And you look as the lightning flashes, and the darkness rescinds from your eyes, and you see your friends standing around you.
Nesgrim, you should not put out your shield. These things like the darkness.
Sure.
Does Ether look more present?
Mm-hmm.
Out loud. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Of course.
Just gonna pat Vorst on the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that again.
I will try not to.
But the mountain is so welcoming.
Perhaps it will be more welcoming further below.
You've seen him?
Yes.
Who?
The heart of Felfarthen.
Does this heart have a name?
Oh, yes.
Do
He
you?
is Felfarthen.
That is the name.
Yes.
Have you seen this yourself?
Oh, yes. Down in the library there are beautiful paintings of him to celebrate all the wonderful things he did for our city as he forged us from its clay.
I would love to see these paintings.
We are the mountain, and he is simply our father, forging us from stone and crystal, and so many things like us, like your friend. He's gonna point at Felix. Well, he doesn't have a hand, but his eyes dart over and he gestures with his side of his head.
You.
Uh-huh.
Will you not take us to these paintings? To this library?
I would take you to the library. It would be my honor to share our history with you.
It would be an honor to have your history shared with us.
Felfarthen still beats.
Oh.
Even dead.
Of course, we will need to keep our sanity if we are to make it to your library.
Unfortunately, I cannot halt the effects of the city.
Might you steer us clear from such tricks if you are aware of them?
Oh, yes.
It would be greatly appreciated.
I will avoid the tricks then.
Perhaps
Best
there
of
is
my ability.
something such as the silver that you spoke of that we might gather for you.
I would very much like the silver there.
What would we get in return?
I'm gonna pull out the silver that I collected off the floor.
Sure.
Is this sufficient?
Oh, yes. That is a satisfactory payment.
Are you able to carry it yourself?
Oh,
Or should I bring it somewhere for you?
no, I can carry it.
I'm gonna pass it toward this head.
Yeah, as you have this pile of coins in your hand, you watch as his head just slightly extends out from the Moon Touch sword and disappears from your sight as it breaks away from the Moon Touch sword. And you see this strange, shadowy smoke surround Yalimlo's hand. You feel the sliding as the metal just leaves your palm. And the coins are gone. A second or two passes and Balor's head returns back to the Moon Touch sword. And you can see that as it returns towards you, you see the height of his torso beginning to come into frame. A beautiful payment, thank you. No more tricks, I promise.
Shall we continue then?
Yes.
I think we should.
I'm going to need to, while this is happening, relight my torch if I am able to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who does not have a source of light?
The person that needs it.
I know. I think we all need.
I technically
No, the person
do.
that
I have
genuinely
the
needs
sword.
I know you need it to see, but
Yeah.
I will ask you to please forgive me, though.
for what?
Well, there was one final trick of this room. I did not know, well, that it would be so close.
I'm ready. I don't know what for, but I'm ready.
Fucking ready! Forgive me for not being as truthful as I could have been. You see, Behirs are more known for their silence than their thunder.
I'm sorry, the what is more known for science?
Oh
To
no.
hear.
Uh-huh.
Oh
Oh,
no.
I didn't. I know I
Yes.
didn't hear you again.
Yeah, the Behir.
The Behir. Okay.
The rat centipede.
The Ratapillar.
Uh-huh.
Behir?
Correct.
Do you know where it is?
Oh, it loves the mead and the spiders that live in the Great Hall.
Hmm.
Look up at the hole.
Yeah, no, you look up towards the hole. It doesn't look like it's a great size for it.
I'm gonna spend the second alcove of darkness at the end of the hallway.
Uh-huh. Are you gonna move towards the alcove?
I'm gonna hold my sword out to dimly lit the rest of it.
You would have to move forward to be able to do such a thing.
Yeah, go ahead. Move me about 10, 15 feet.
After hearing him say
Uh-huh.
it loves the meat and the spiders,
Uh-huh.
Is my strength still reduced, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I would
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I would channel divinity on my sword
Okay.
and make it'll emit bright and dim 2020,
Mm-hmm.
and then I would turn off my shield. So it's just my sword that's lit, so I can use that as my flashlight.
Okay. You begin to walk towards
Just
the
gonna
alcove.
Can you light something else
spin,
now then?
sigh, and hold my sword up to see out in front of me and pull my shield up
Mm-hmm.
as I'm walking.
That's where he is.
Hmm?
I would say that you're able to illuminate at an angle to be able to see that there is a large stack of boxes towards the close corner of the turn of that alcove. About 12 feet in height. A variety of still intact, covered in cobweb boxes. Around the edges of the boxes on the floor, you can see that there are fragments of the bodies of spiders. Stainings of what looks like the broken carapace of its body. And I would say that you're able to illuminate that good angle to be able to see a stack of dusty wood and a pillar.
I would be walking to keep the edge of my bright on Vorst's back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take a deep old whiff as
Yeah, as you move forward, you can make a perception check with advantage, as always. For the good old smell
you
check.
bastard! It rolled from a 20 to a 2 on the 1. Yeah, that's gonna be a 10.
A 10? Yeah, I will say that the odor of the mead and the fungus is pretty potent, mostly obscuring your sensation of smell. I will tell you that you do get the distinguishing odor of, obviously you're seeing the carapace of a spider. You get that, the smell.
The spider goo smell again?
Yes. I will tell you as well, you would get the odor of what feels like, for just a brief, burnt hair or fur, like scorched. If you were to ever accidentally catch with a lighter a small area of DJ. Or Glenn. That intense,
Has this happened?
Oh yeah, we've never told you that.
terrible odor of burnt hair or fur.
How he lost the teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. That and also he lit my beard on fire in the bar.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I do not know if you would like to continue to move forward. I will tell you that the ceilings in the alcove, the same as the other ceilings, are about 40 feet for what you're able to see for your illumination and your dark vision as it stretches out from you.
Yeah, go ahead and move me up another 10 feet. And I'm gonna kind of
Can
like
we move as a
look
group?
at the
Yeah,
boxes.
absolutely.
As he moves forward, I'm gonna move up to
Yeah.
Ether.
Yeah, I'm gonna look around the boxes and up.
Can you put me 20 behind him too? Probably about there, right? 20.
I'll be coming up behind. I'm sure Felix would as well.
No, Felix is gonna hang out with the giant hands, right?
Where do you want to be at, Felix?
He ran.
Oh, he's not here. He's gone.
Alright, well then he's next to me.
He's in the loving embrace of the giant hands.
You move forward and you kind of extend your moon touch sword out once more, holding it aloft, trying to give yourself a perspective of what is behind these boxes. And as you do, you see this long, curved creature adorning the majority of the back of the wall, about 10 feet in height, curled up towards the ceiling. Does absolutely look the length of what would be a thing that would have made marks on the ceilings and walls for you. And we are going to roll initiative.
We can't even try to be a friend.
You can try
It could be a friend.
inside of initiative order.
Oh no,
Absolutely.
it's too
I will
dangerous
not
to do
tell
it then.
you. You don't have the right to talk to the thing.
Roll an initiative, Paul.
I heard. Gosh.
I'm gonna go vape real quick.
I will ask you in the corner by where those piles of timber are.
Right
You
here.
can remove the piles of timber so this way it can occupy that space. But
Okay.
yes, it is on the walls there.
15, John.
Cool.
May I give you my numbers?
Give me 1 second.
That's enormous.
Oh, fuck that thing.
I'm pretty sure it's actually just huge.
Yes. DJ's at 15. Sarah, what are you?
22 with a natural 20.
Very good. Glenn.
10.
Paul.
19.
Lawrence.
4.
Very
Oh,
good.
no.
Donnie boy.
22 with an 18.
So it'll be Sarah first.
I don't know if I want to go first.
You don't have to. If you just want
You
to.
said you wanted to talk.
You're running out. Come on, little baby!
You're so cute.
Come get some scratches!
It's a big friend.
I'm gonna turn on the lights, friends. Watch your eyes.
Mm.
So we've got
This thing's gonna bitch slap
ghost
me.
dwarves and ghost giants on this side.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Got this thing
Mm-hmm.
over here.
Paul's gone. Again.
He's vanished.
That's fine. I'll just do mine preemptively, because he and I are going to need to roll off. Oh, precious combat.
We haven't combat in so long.
Uh-huh. It'll be fine.
I'll be right back.
Balor is here to keep you safe.
Yeah.
You're the one who definitely didn't lead us right to it.
All of this to save a hand.
I heard roll off. Roll off.
Yeah, you and I tied on initiative count, so could you do a flat roll? I am a 9.
7.
Damn.
You said flat, right?
Yes, flat roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Ratterpillar.
Sarah, me, Paul. Ooh. And everybody.
Would it have made a noise as soon as we locked eyes?
No, actually.
Ooh! Or something like that?
It says hello.
Oh my!
No,
I would have cleaned up if I would have known I had
as
company.
your, like, you know, the dim light of the moon touch sword would kind of give it some sense that there is ambient light in its area. It would have, while it was on the wall, kind of angled upwards, you would have just seen the enormous long neck, kind of almost like an anaconda, curl back up and look downwards at you from more on the height of the ceiling, as though it was going to...
Oh, great. It's posturing.
Yes, it's posturing for sure. Yeah, I mean, I will say that as a justification for why we know we are rolling initiative, I would say that you guys would have heard a thing and you would have definitively seen Forrest kind of recoil in horror.
Yep.
And Don, you lead us off.
Wasn't Sarah first?
Alright,
Sarah's first.
you did roll the nat 20, so yeah, Sarah's first. I forgot she nat 20'd. You guys just had the same value.
Yep.
Haven't seen this thing yet.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Did Felix wind up lighting his torch?
Yeah, I would say
I
that
should-
enough
yeah.
time had passed for
Okay.
Felix to be able to light his torch.
Then I'm going to...
It's fine, Sarah.
Does it? I don't know. Okay, I guess I'm going to run over to where Vorst is.
Uh-huh.
So I don't...
Mm-hmm.
That's 25.
25?
Mm-hmm.
I can see it at this point, right?
Yeah, you can see it's in dim light on the back of the wall, because it's 20 bright. Yeah, it's literally just outside of the bright light.
Does it look like it's reacted to us?
Yes, it's posturing like a fucking anaconda, where it's reared its long neck back and it's angled up off the height of the ceiling and is staring directly at Vorst. Uh-huh.
God, that camera angle though.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. I have no clue what to do.
From that camera angle, it looks like her hand's on my shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Forced.
Good God. A friend.
Oops, be careful.
They hooked Reardon
Giant
and
friend in
Esgrim
the corner.
together. So now when I move one, I move both.
Yes. That is very good.
Yeah, his claw got stuck on the wing.
Come on, Reardon.
Um,
Yeah, Reardon is low-key a hero for combat, which is great.
He's got his hand on your shoulder. Come on, buddy.
Mm-hmm. I hear there's things going down up ahead.
I love you. What?
Reardon, I'm gonna throw you.
Really gonna need that meat after this.
Mm-hmm.
okay, I could do something real stupid.
Do it. Do it.
Mm-hmm.
Can't spell mead without me and you.
It's a
What?
Can't spell mead without me and a D.
Mm.
No.
There it is. That's a prophecy if I've ever heard one.
Oh, come on. That was such a good one.
That's our brand score. Just
There it goes. You see that?
how? You said there's like spider remnants over
Yeah.
here? How
Yeah.
big are the spider remnants?
I would say that it would be what would look like the leg / fragments of the carapace. I would say that the spiders would look like they would probably be about 4 to 5 feet
So-
for the total of the like enormity of it. So real fucking big spider legs, big spider torsos.
Bigger
kind
than that of a giant spider?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm not gonna do that. That's a bad
Mhm.
idea.
Ooh, appetizer.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it.
It's still an option, but be a giant octopus.
it doesn't work for non-mods.
Where is?
Hurt.
Oof.
Mm.
True colors.
Mm. Mm.
We're gonna go with the classic.
We're gonna wrinkle our paper.
It was messed up.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do that just now. We're gonna wild shape
Mm-hmm.
to a brown bear.
Very good.
It'll be a white brown bear,
Very good.
As it is.
Uh-huh.
Shit.
but a brown bear nonetheless.
Very good.
So just
Just right behind Forrest.
yeah.
Don, can you grab that for her?
Oh no, it's
now.
smoky.
That was 20 feet. That was
25.
25. Can you put me one more over? Yeah. And I'm going to.
Dance.
You can't ready a multi-attack, right?
Can you zoom out?
You ready an attack action?
Just slightly.
Okay.
And I would say that it's fine.
I'm gonna ready my.
You're
attack.
able to get extra attack. It doesn't seem like it would make sense for you to not also as well get multi-attack. If you're ready
yeah.
an attack action.
I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
stand there and ready my
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna posture at it.
ready my attack action.
Very good. That's your turn.
Yes.
Donnie boy. Ooh. Ooh, you glorious, glorious man.
20. Get right there.
Good, Don.
Cluster up.
Even better.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Brace yourself against the wall.
Okay.
Oh, I regret my decision. I've made the wrong choice.
All right. I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Uh-huh.
I can do that like in the air, right?
Yeah.
Because then it is. We said that it's like on the wall.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And put my spectral bone club next to it and attempt to
You make your attack roll, buddy.
smack it. That's a 19 on the die.
Yeah, 19's gonna hit. Absolutely.
Need to roll burnout for your spiritual weapon.
Yes, I do with a D10.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
You don't have to roll
Two,
burnout
we're
for
good.
like race feature or
No,
class
no
feature.
class features. No, you do not.
That is 7 plus 5, 12 points of damage.
Nice.
Yeah, so I mean, I'll give you this beautiful, horrifying hand that I had
Oh,
back here for no
very
reason
good.
whatsoever.
Swat.
And we'll say that
You saw me touch him.
you rub his belly.
Make it friends.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you absolutely conjure the ethereal, spiritual-looking bone great club and smack this thing into the chest. And it lets out a horrific high-pitched screech. Like a...
Oh.
Yeah. That's your bonus action.
Yep. And with my action, I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt
Very good.
and attempt to hit it.
Absolutely.
Probably not. That's a 14.
14, no, and roll your burnout die.
6, so we
Okay.
don't burn out.
You're very good. Yeah, your guiding bolt, again, amidst this darkness, he's slightly behind the storage boxes and things like that. You unleash this radiant light out from your palm towards this creature as it slithers along the walls, and you watch. As your guiding bolt passes, you see as it illuminates, and it is curled in such a way that your bolt, despite the enormous size and stature and width, strikes in an area kind of between the curls
Sure, yeah.
of it and strikes against the back wall, leaving a bright, beautiful scorch mark of radiant light.
Lovely. Yeah, that's me.
Fantastic. Next up is our good boy Rearda. And Rearda's got a full 30 feet of movement as well. And Rearda's just gonna, I'm fucking tanked, boys!
He can get 5 feet away from it, from the base,
Sure.
with his 30 feet. Actually, hold on. No, he can get to it if
Sure.
I actually path correctly.
Sure.
He can get in there.
Yeah, that's fine. And Rearda is a fucking...
Come on, Rearda.
Oh yeah, no, he's a fucking madman. So you watch as Rearda gets close, and despite his emaciated form, as he looks up at this thing on the wall and realizes what a challenge this is, you see the fur kind of like crackle around the edges of his skin. The spines begin to like protrude outward a little longer. His hair goes like very Blanca-esque, where it in an excited fashion like kind of coils around and spikes out around his back. You just see the horns on the side of his head begin to elongate, and he just goes, "All right, boys, let's do this one." And he's gonna rage. And you just watch as he just rips this battle axe off his back, incredibly excited, and just, fuck yeah!
Weird, it's cool.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he's gonna reckless. Because he's a fucking savage.
Both net ones. Oh, shit.
Nope, no. Rearda
Dual net
is-
20s.
No, Rearda is a solid 22 to hit, though, so Rearda's gonna get in here for some glorious, enormous battle axe damage. 6, 8.
Hell yeah, Rearda.
So, yeah, as he slashes this back, like, battle axe up at this thing, he catches along the lower portion of the tail by the legs, because again, it's on the wall. He catches it around, and as he does, you see that off of him, these light, small figures of wolves and dogs kind of cascade out from the areas of his body, just like natural, ethereal, spiritual figments of energy that now latch onto this fucking thing and begin to attempt to, like, pull at it. Ancestral protection.
That's so cool.
Oh yeah, he channels the spirit of his people and his
That's
weapons.
awesome.
Yeah, so that is his bonus action and his singular attack. So you watch as just this, reddish black tar-like blood splashes against the back wall, the silhouette of Rearda and all these spirits cascading out from him, attaching onto the Behir. And that's Rearda's turn.
Go Rearda.
And now it's me. And I am immediately pissed.
Naturally.
Immediately pissed.
Thank you, Luna.
Yeah, I'm 100% just this thing screeches once more as the battle axe strikes through the lower portion of its body, unfurls this like strange guttural noise of, and you watch as the entirety of like its neck, as though something inside of it engorges and elevates through its neck, catches in the back of its mouth, and you watch as this wide jaw just kind of almost unhinges. You know how snakes have like the second? It opens, and you see this horrifically crackling energy of lightning
No.
breathe out from this thing. So I am going to, I got a solid 30-foot line. I'm going to catch Rearda and Sarah, because it's only 5 feet wide. And Ether is strategically positioned behind Force. So this is going to go right the fuck next to you.
Are these crates going to explode? These barrels next to me?
Yes.
Of meat, I'm guessing?
Yes.
Gonna singe the side of your head.
Can you make a dex save, please?
I absolutely can.
And Rearda can see this. It's danger sense.
Uh-oh.
Rearda, my boy! I can finally play an NPC! I just need to be a drunk fucking monster. I love him.
Well, John.
Right? Sarah, what'd you get?
2.
Meanwhile,
Hey,
No!
not a 1!
Not a 1.
Not a 1!
Not a
Bear
1.
gets ready to jump and just.
Yep, it's a 2.
That's so many size.
What are you talking about, DJ?
No, it's not.
Tell me it's not split damage.
Sarah, you take 23 points of lightning damage.
That's fine.
Okay.
Rearda is halved. So Rearda takes
job,
the
Rearda.
11.
You said 23.
23. And Sarah, I will say that as this lightning envelops your body and you watch as all the fur floofs on this big fucking bear, and just the like crackling lightning singes behind it, strikes the wall, it fucking decimates all those barrels. Like, the barrels that are in that line are just fucking splattered. Whatever was there that was wooden is completely fucking disintegrated into ash. Ash, like, very much things that you've seen that have been turned to ash so far in this area. Sarah, as a consequence of failing the saving throw, you are dazed. You cannot utilize your reaction until the beginning of your next turn. Your reaction will now renew. Rearda passed the save, so Rearda is fine on that. But that is my turn. Just this overwhelming guttural breakage out from this thing, as though there is an energy inside of this creature that it cannot fully control. That is my turn, and we go to Paul.
Help.
Great. All right. So I see
the hell is in
crackling
this
lightning strike
Yeah.
my friends.
Yeah, you want, like, it's 100% just out of fucking nowhere around this alcove, just retort, just as a bear.
Screech, screech, lightning.
Yes.
Got it.
Am I
I
sizzling
will
a
change
little
my
bit?
focus
Yes.
to mastery of weather
Uh-huh.
for sure.
Uh-huh.
And I have 35 feet of movement. Can I get behind Vorst and Ritora, maybe like a 5-foot separation behind, and then I'm able to see this creature?
that's 25 right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So he's got 2 more
Yeah.
spaces he could move.
Yep.
Can you see where you're at there?
And yes, yeah, that looks good as long as I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're able to see it again. It's in dim light still. It's the only thing I'm going to say.
And would you mind describing to me what the creature looks like?
Yeah, it is a about 22-foot long ratipede, where, again, 10 legs curled up along the wall, ascending the wall in what looks like probably an S, or maybe a continuation of an S shape, because it's kind
And
of...
it's got fur.
Yeah, it has slight little pieces of fur, and I will say it's in dim light still, so you can't really make out too much of its distinguishing
It's
features.
not gonna focus.
But yeah, it's got horrifying curled horns around its head that would be visible, and you would see that it's got, you know, a pair of fucking, or 2 pairs of fucking big long clawy hands up along the height of its body, and a big fucking wide open mouth, still sizzling and crackling with lightning.
as for like the head and mouth,
Uh-huh.
you said there's patches of fur. What's there where there isn't fur? Is it skin, scale?
It would look like scale.
Look like scale.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, give me a second here.
Just give it a hug, Paul.
Absolutely not.
what
I'm
we're
not
You're
gonna
on.
be
You
here.
said you
And
switched your elemental
Our
focus.
boons, boons are still active.
Correct. Yeah, it has not been more than an hour.
He did say switch
Yeah,
his
I'm
focus
gonna
to
expend
mastery
3
of
psi
weather.
points and psi blast him.
Sure.
Psionic blast, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
This just hits
Mm-hmm.
and 9 plus. Oh, that's horrible. 11 psychic damage.
11 psychic damage.
Yeah, rolled an 8, a 1, and a 2.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, you channel
I
the
have to roll burnout. I'm assuming
correct, and it's a D10.
it's a D10.
Yep.
Oh boy. Ooh. 3.
Yeah. You see this creature on the heights of the wall, and you recognize the obvious immediate threat of enormous danger that this thing represents, and concentrate, establishing a psychic brief link as you attempt to burst its fucking brain out of its skull. You watch as this thing kind of shatters, the lightning out of its mouth dissipates, it kind of singes and crackles as it wraps around its teeth, and it just shakes and once more screeches. Okay. Anything else on your turn, sir?
I will conclude my turn.
Very good. DJ. It's now your turn.
So I saw Rearder run in
Yeah!
and heard him, oh, fuck yeah! And he's excited to fight this thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going right up next to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Right up next to Rearder if I can. He had 30, I should be able to get there.
30 puts you directly next to him.
Mm-hmm.
Within striking range of the Behir.
You're within 5.
Beautiful. And then I'm gonna Booming Blade it.
Very good. Make your attack roll.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Please. Thunder me.
Great. So that's gonna be, and I have +4 from the Channel Divinity.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna be 22 to hit.
22 will hit.
I don't know if I should be excited that it hit.
Probably not.
It's also one-handed, because...
Yeah. You have your shield out.
And do I add that to damage as well?
Oh, the devotion?
Yeah. No, it's just attack rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Alright, so that's going to be a total of 6 slashing damage from the sword.
Mm-hmm.
And then Booming Blade is, if it moves, it takes 1d8 thunder damage. If it willingly moves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be my action.
Mm-hmm.
Bonus action.
Bonus.
Held
Bonus action.
Fight me!
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm going to do a quick retcon real quick. Can I take my bonus action before I would have acted?
What would it be?
It was going to be Divine Favor.
To do the radiant damage?
It adds 1d4 radiant, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Roll your burnout die.
D10, right?
Yeah.
5.
Cool. Roll your
Do
d4
it
for
like
your
that.
radiant damage.
No, we're good.
Son of a bitch!
One?
It's another 2.
2.
I mean,
Hey,
it's
for
more
a
damage.
D4, that's pretty...
It's average.
It's average, DJ. So yeah, no, you watch as Nesgrim steps forward, right next to his now best friend and lover. Well, fuck yeah, buddy!
I'm just leaning into it at this point.
Me and a D.
The Meat Boys!
Yeah,
Meat man.
you all would
Meat
see
man.
that, Nesgrim himself kind of bathes his blade in a kind of cascading, like, swirling effect of a radiant white light and
Did you see my 10
a
book?
lingering pale blue as you do Divine Favor and then Booming Blade and strike this thing. As your sword slashes into one of the areas by, like, the legs, kind of coming down over it, you watch as the white light connects and radiates out, striking into the area in which your sword has struck purchase and slashed through. You watch as the blue light kind of radiates around the central area of the wound. Anything else on your turn?
Nope. That's it.
Bonus action.
Bonus action.
So
Bonus.
has it since like come down after getting drug off the wall?
It
Or is
hasn't
it
been
still
drug
like,
off the wall.
or is it
It's-
still like tail down?
It's
head
still tailed
turned
down,
back?
kind of like angled down around. I'm permitting people to hit because like it occupies such a grand space and is so far out from the wall because it's a thick boy that like you guys are. Oh God! I hate this thing, but I want it to be my friend.
Roughly how far from the floor is like the head and neck area?
The head? The head would be like 15 to 20 feet. I would say it would be very difficult for you to catch the head. With a melee attack. Obviously, if you have spells at your access, you'll be much better. I'm aiming for the head.
How does this work? Hold on. There it is. So that would be 3 plus strength mod. 7. How tall are the crates?
The crates are, I'll say, 5-foot increments. So there was a third one, so it would be 5 and then
5
a 10.
foot, 10 foot.
You're fine. I put them there for a reason,
Yeah.
so this way, genuinely, if somebody wanted to do something like this, I
I'm
wanted to
bolting
get.
up the crates,
Mhm.
and then I'm going to leap off the top crate and sword into the throat to hang on.
Sure,
Sweet.
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah. No,
Sweet.
you're able to 5, 10, jump. Yeah.
5, 10. It'd be
Play like
20 to
20.
get up to here.
Yeah, and then you can long jump because you've moved at least 10 feet.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, you make your attack roll.
All right. Are our buffs still active from before, from the blessings?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh shit! What did I have again?
Fucking no, that's your
I think I had
responsibility, not
blessed.
mine.
Forgot about that.
I gave you all buffs.
I am blessed. That's fine. I hit anyway. Doesn't matter.
Correct. Reared is also blessed.
Hashtag blast.
12's not gonna hit, is it?
A 12 will not hit, no.
Very cool.
Yeah, I will say that you ascend these boxes very quickly like a big fucking leaping stomp on one box, jump up one stomp on second box. You leap down towards this thing and you try to plunge your fucking sword into this thing's neck. It curves around you as your blade cracks against the fucking stone. Your arm reverberates and you land in, I'm going to say you're going to land at the ground in that corner, really fucking tight quartered
Yeah.
in those boxes.
Yeah.
Back
So
here.
other people are not going to be able to see you. Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and pop my bonus action to. I'm gonna shift.
Bonus action.
So yeah, I'm about to get like real angry dog.
Real feral.
Yeah,
2 of them.
2 angry dogs.
Uh huh. Anything else for you, sir?
Yeah. I am actually going to.
Real angry dog Will Ferrell.
I'm gonna also action surge,
Sure.
and that's a full action on an action surge, right? It's not not a second bonus action. it's
Correct. Just
another.
the action.
Yeah, cool. I'm gonna take another swing at him.
Absolutely. Make another attack roll at him.
Can you take action surge after a bonus action?
Yeah. At any point.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Huh.
And then you get extra. Oh no, you don't have. Never mind.
Yeah, we're not at 5 yet. But yeah, no, you're fully permitted to take action surge whenever in your turn that you would like.
19.
19 will strike.
Fighter's a hell of a class.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Bam, 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 bam.
Just into a pair. So many times Grimdar did that.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
I landed next to him by a leg, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna hack into his hip with
Absolutely.
with 9 points of damage.
9 slashing? Yeah, absolutely. You land, you realize that your first sword strike did not make it as you felt it strike against the stone behind it. You land, come to your feet in a flurry of fucking primal rage. Reared is right here by you, and this is your first fight in a fucking while together. You shift, your teeth elongate, your hair stands up at the back. Reared out the corner of his eyes is just like, that's my fucking boy. And you just, oh God, buddy, we're doing it! And you slash into his fucking hip. And we'll say you'll go at a diagonal area, so you'll catch right at like the haunch above where the leg would connect across one of its hips. Yeah. Blood just splatters into that corner of the fucking room, and it lets out another piercing, loud, ringing
I'm gonna
shriek.
scream back at it.
Yeah.
That's my.
Yeah,
That-
you
that
fucking
would be
roar
it.
in its face as it screeches, and this is a wonderful alcove of fuckery. Lawrence, to you, sir.
Move forward. Can I see that boy from there?
Yeah, you can see it over the one box, because the first box is only 5 feet in height, and it is like 8 to 10 feet all along the walls, so you're able to get a good visual.
I already had the sword out from before, but the runes on it are going to glow blue. I'm going to put the old Hexblade's Curse on a boy.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to
What a surprise.
reach a hand out and...
Touch
the
base.
blast.
Yeah, there's going to be some, like, frosty, foggy energy, and then it's going to, like, go toward
Propel
it.
itself forward.
It's going to be an 18 to hit.
18 will strike.
Burn out because of the thing, rolled a 9, and then damage is... 15.
15. Absolutely. All force. Yeah. This chilling fog-like substance forms out of Yalonlo's hands. It's got kind of like a spiritual central point of embodiment, and it just radiates out as he extends his Spider-Man style hand a little bit more horizontally, not to a level.
Make eye contact with him.
Yeah. Yeah. You watch as this force energy strikes it in the upper portion of the torso, below the like conical area where the neck kind of connects to the body. It just reels back and just screeches once more and looks real fucking angry. Just the eyes just narrow at all of you.
And I'm going to scoop myself over here to finish my turn out.
Sure, absolutely. That is Lawrence. We're going to go back to the top of the order with Sarah.
So is this thing still up on the wall?
Yes. Yeah, like I said, if you're within 5 feet of it, you're able to reach. It is so thick, it's coming out like 6 feet off the wall. Yeah. It's a big fucking thing.
You could get in there if you want
I
to.
have climbing speed.
Yeah, you're a bear.
I'm a bear.
Yeah. So get on that pole and fucking leap over and just fucking rake its face.
As a bear.
As a bear, dude, get the fucking claws in there.
Am I able to jump on it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like cool shit. I'm
Yeah.
all about cool shit.
Yep.
I want to knock this thing off the wall.
Sure.
Yo.
Yeah. And just, 2 fucking bare hands together. Bam! I will let you do that at the cost of utilizing both effects of your multi-attack.
Okay, yeah.
To try to get it off of the thing. I'll permit a single instancing of damage and then the knocking off. So it's effectively shoving to try to get it off, even though, like, it's an enormous fucking creature.
It's the roll to hit it, and then the roll to hit to pull it down, basically.
I'm going to make it one
Yeah,
consequential roll and do it simultaneously, because I think that's fucking cool.
Strength as the,
It's still an attack roll.
still an attack roll.
Yes, yeah.
She pulls 2
So-
goblins out of her pockets and slaps them together and pours them on her face and then jumps off.
Oh my god, and the bear has bark skin, Sarah.
Yeah.
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 I'm so glad I gave you bark skin.
Bark bear.
Didn't super help against the,
Yeah.
Wood bear.
with the dex check, but,
Sorry.
so where, so my attacks are +5. What is that from?
It's your strength mod and your proficiency bonus.
Okay.
So it'll still be a +5
Still be a
on your hit.
+5.
So if this strikes, you're going to knock it down and you're going to deal your damage.
13.
13 will not hit. Damn. I will say that since you're going to miss with the clapped hands, what's your damage die? It's 2d6?
For the claws,
Yeah.
it's 2d6 +4.
Sure. I'll permit you a d6 because, like, you're going to strike this thing. You're just not going to drag it down off the wall. So I'll permit you the single d6 and I'll still permit you the mod.
A flying bear.
And the mod.
Did you roll a 1, Sarah? I'm trying so hard to be generous.
5 slashing.
Yeah, you watch as this bear just full fucking momentum realizes the audacity of this bitch over here to fucking light me up with lightning. Fuck that shit. Jumps up, one bare hand grabs the fucking pillar, extends itself, puts 2 feet off, and fucking Superman kicks off. Full fucking force, claps both claws together, and crashes into the side of this thing. You see it, like, strike one of the curved corners, and that's why you don't get it down. Because, like, you try to rake your claws along its thing and drag it down with you. You strike along its side, your claws dig in and deal the the 5 points of slashing damage as you strike down, but it is an incredibly heavy creature, and you're not able to fully rip it off the wall. Anything else on your turn, Sarah?
No, I think that's it.
Very good. Donnie boy.
All right. First off, can you remind me who's after me in the initiative order?
Immediately after you, it's Rearda.
Rearda.
Rearda and then it.
Cool. So first I'm going to use my bonus action, and I'm going to attempt to slap it again with this big bone boy.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a 19.
19 will hit.
Cool. And that is 6 plus 5, so 11 points of damage. And then I'm going to point at it with my hand and scream, "It is cursed!"
Yes, it is.
And I'm going to curse it.
Very good.
For my boy Rearda.
I'm vulnerable. Cool. Anything else on your turn, sir?
That is it.
Very good. So your spiritual weapon strikes once more. This great club horizontally now twists and turns with your hand as you slap at its fucking legs. I'm going to say that you strike in what would be... Rats have knees.
Yeah.
You fucking kneecap one of them. Fuck you, rat.
My leggies.
The thought of like a
Leggies.
rat standing up.
My leggies.
Like a doctor
leggies.
doing the like
Right.
iron.
Are we 3 for 3 on the leggies?
Yes, we are.
Yeah,
Break those leggies.
Every campaign will have leggy damage. Yeah, and then you extend your hand out, shout that it is cursed, and you see this, intensity of Aether's eyes as he just is filled with like a disdain for this creature in terms of like, whatever this is, it is wrong, and we have to do this to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And you watch this energy kind of soak out of Aether, like an aura just kind of dissipates out over this creature and envelops the area around its head and neck with a white ethereal light. And if that is the conclusion of your turn, I'm going to pop over to Rearda.
Yep.
Who Rearda just hears that and goes, "I fucking love curses!" We're going to reckless. Rearda, no!
No! We're gonna...
God damn it. He
Bad
fucking
dog.
double 7'd.
Oh,
Yeah, his 13 will not strike.
damn.
You
Bad
watch
dog.
as his battle axe just kind of slashes across once more to try to aim for the same spot, try to like intersect the diagonals, and this thing just like recoils as it realizes my leggies. Everything's aiming for my leggies, and it just kind of like curls its body up and peels its leggies up. And Rearda just slashes across the stone horizontally behind or underneath it. And he gets fucking pissed. And you see that Rearda gets real mad, and even in his rage, you see just the heights of his shoulders grow again once more, and you see just like these tufted ears kind of poke out around the long form of his hair as it's scraggled and weaved around. And you see these enormous wolf-like ears just kind of begin to burst out from his head. And he shifts as well. Rearda's here to fuck.
He didn't shift yet?
Oh no.
He just raged.
He raged and now shifted.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, he's
He's
big
just
bear
in his
form
final
now.
form.
Seriously, dude, Rearda's the closest thing to a dope
What does my
Dragon
scouter
Ball Z
say,
character.
John?
Dude, over fucking 9,000 for sure. But now it sadly comes to me, and I'm gonna roll to recharge.
Oh, yes.
Well, lightning don't come back, but
Good.
my leggies are fucking livid. And you watch
Angry
as this
leggies.
creature just kind of rears back against the wall, angles itself to be centered in all of you, and with its full weight comes crashing down on the ground right at everyone's feet.
That's what I was trying to do.
And this terrifying boom echoes out. Everyone within a 30-foot cube radius that is not behind total cover, so Yal and Lo would count as the total cover, because you're on the opposite side of the wall now, correct?
Yeah, I'm around the corner.
Yep.
I mean, like, technically diagonal, depending on how you want to rule that.
Well, it's striking at where the front of its base is. I would say, how tall are you?
I don't remember what I...
I'm going to say that the boxes are sufficient height. There's a fucking ladder and everything. Even if you're not half even if you're not full cover, you're very close to full cover. I don't fucking like
Yeah,
that. That would be dumb.
We're out.
You guys back there are out,
Yeah.
so it's the individuals who are up here in melee range. We're making con saves, friends.
Is everybody up here in the fuck club?
Yeah.
Bless is
saving throws.
saving throws.
So I got Rearda.
Rearda, you hero! Not 20.
Yes! He just sees it coming. I know all about leg day!
I'm anticipating that it doesn't care about thunder damage, but it still had Booming Blade on it.
Yeah.
It didn't move out of its space, did it?
I mean, it says willingly move. I understand it's not leaving its space, but it would be coming off of the wall to occupy space on the ground. I would say that it's going to happen. I do have a thing that's going to occur for the Booming Blade, but I want to resolve this first. But yes, your Booming Blade will trigger.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20? Glenn?
18.
18? You're out of it, Rearda. And
12.
12? Oh. Oh.
Yeah, I know, John. With
Yeah.
the bless.
I'm very sorry. I'm not at all sorry.
I know, John. It's okay.
It's a great time. Oh,
Did you cap it?
dear God, no. But very close. Very close. DJ, you're going to take 26 points of thunder damage. Those of you who passed, you take the half. You take 13.
Uh-oh.
DJ, you are disoriented. You cannot use your bonus action on your next turn.
Sure.
For the consequence of failing the saving throw.
I'm also very bloody.
As it moves, and your booming blade kind of resonates out around its thing, please roll your damage die.
Am I able to absorb elements that?
Capped.
Yeah.
Cool.
Does it say specifically that it needs to be a spell?
Spell captures some of the incoming energy, lessening its effects on you and storing it for your next melee attack.
You fucking got it, man.
Cool.
You can absolutely absorb elements on it. You capped. You rolled the 6.
8.
Yeah. 8.
It's a D8.
Oh, buddy. Yeah, you watch as your thunder kind of claps as it resonates around this thing, and it bursts back in your face, and you take 8 thunder damage.
DJ.
I said literally the thing is a spirit of lightning and thunder.
I know, John, but Nesgrim wouldn't know that.
Totally fair.
Nesgrim did know
Nesgrim
that.
did hear that, though.
He did. You're right, but he wouldn't
That was
assume that it was like
explicitly
immune
said,
to it.
right?
He would go, "I don't want this thing to move. I'm gonna hit it with an attack that triggers when it moves, so it doesn't move."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, totally fine. You are disoriented.
We're
You
trying
cannot
to
use a
get to
bonus action on your next turn. How much of the damage did you absorb? You gain resistance, correct?
Yes.
So you would only take, it would be half, so 6, and you will get the 7 that will be added to your next attack. Because it's thunder damage, I will give you the opportunity to absorb it and choose to not imbue that into your weapon.
Yep.
Okay. Because I like, that feels like such a dick thing to do, to be like, haha, you absorbed it, now you're just going to reflect it back at yourself. next turn."
Aha! Oh,
Yeah.
fuck!
Like, that feels like
Yeah.
a super ignorant gotcha type thing to do. Yeah, this horrible fucking crackling thunder. You hear it, you're not affected by it, but you are fucking terrified
Yeah, I don't like it.
of, oh my god, the thunder is back, the thunder is back. That's my turn, and we're going to go to Paul.
Cool. So as I do my action,
Mhm.
I will attempt to say into its mind, weakness.
Mm-hmm.
And I will ego with it. So it must make an intelligence saving throw. On a
Okay.
failed save, it'll take 3d8 psychic damage and be filled with self-doubt. So it can only dodge, disengage, or hide.
Does it work if it doesn't speak the same language as you? Is that something that indicates itself in the classification for the spell?
I don't actually have to say anything for the spell, so no.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I thought it was one of the spells where, like, command needs to understand the language that you're speaking to be able to fulfill it.
No. Separate. Sorry.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, I am a 6, so I'm going to fail.
Yep.
And you said attack, dash, or dodge?
Dodge, disengage, or hide.
Cool.
Oh.
Cool.
Oh my god, 8 psychic damage. I'm rolling horribly.
And did you roll your burnout die?
Oh shit. 2. Oh, no, it's counting down.
Okay.
My last one was a 3.
And you said 8 psychic damage?
So it'll be 16 because of my Path of the Grave.
Cool, you are correct. So, you watch as this energy that exudes out from Aethir's curse, making it vulnerable. You connect once more telekinetically to this creature, psychically assault it again, filling it with fear and doubt. It recoils in horror and lets out a terrifying screech. You watch as it begins to just trail blood from the corners of its mouth, dripping down from the teeth at the edge of the jaw. Oh, yeah. And as it becomes bloodied, and it lets out a horrifying shriek, you watch as darkness exudes out from its mouth, encapsulating the area around us. Everything within 15 feet of me is now enshrouded in magical darkness. And every light that is within 60 feet of me, as this shadow bathes out, is extinguished. And you watch as the smoke and ash radiates into this magical darkness around the individuals in here within this 15 feet, kind of chills and strikes around your face as you watch it bathe up towards this creature, and these swirls fill its flesh in the gaps where it is bloodied, filling its body, and we will end there.
Oh,
Oh
God.
no.
Oh. Yee. Well.
Oh jeez.
Thanks, everyone.
Oh jeez.
Oh, geez, indeed. Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I don't like when things
Yeah, this is
heal
we're in
themselves.
phase 2 now.
That's
But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching tonight. We really appreciate it. If you're new here, make sure you follow so you can find us again. We stream D&D 3 times a week. And you can check us out on our website, notgreatrpg.com. We've got text recaps. Everything gets turned into a podcast. We've got YouTube. We have coupons for a bunch of different tabletop companies for things that you're probably buying anyway, so you might as well save money on it and help us out. We've got pictures of stuff. There's a whole bunch of fun things in there, so you should go check it out. You can also type !Discord in the chat so you can join our community and talk to us and ask us fun questions or show off your miniatures that you've painted or anything else. But we really appreciate you. Thank you again, Siren, for the resub and the Epsilon not for the resub, and Elliot for the resub as well, and the follow from JRET. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for the Lost Kings of Edoras. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.